Hi, this is Dee. It's 6:30 in the morning on December 19th, and I'm out here at Providence Road doing my 19th Christmas count today. And I started doing my Christmas counts back in 2001 when I went to my first Audubon meeting. I had no idea what the hell a bird count was, but a really attractive guy came in and said they needed help doing the Christmas bird count. So I signed up for it because that attractive guy said they needed it, and I was single at the time. And this is my 18th count with that really attractive guy. We're off at 5:24, it's about 11 o'clock. It's gotten a lot warmer. I'm starting to shed my clothes now. So I was talking about the first bird count I did, and I did not know what a bird count was, and I found out that there's such a thing as hardcore birders who wouldn't stop and let me go to the bathroom on the count because real birders go in the woods. I'm not a real birder, I don't go in the woods. So I had to hold it for a really long time on my first Christmas count. And my next Christmas count, I had actually started dating David by then, and he actually stops and lets me go to the bathroom on Christmas counts. But David is a real birder, but he knows if he wants to stay married to me, he has to stop and let me go to the bathroom on Christmas counts. I was somewhat of a novice birder at the time, and he pointed out a little blue bird in a tree, and he asked me if I knew what it was, and I'm like, well, it's a little blue bird, it must be a little blue heron. At which point, he put his head in his hands and started weeping, and he said, you're not getting back in my truck. So I had to run and grab my siblings and find out that it was in fact a blue-gray gnatcatcher. And David did let me back in his truck, and we did wind up, we did eventually get engaged after that. So he must love me because I was so wrong about that bird. And I've never been wrong about it again since, though. That's a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. So David and I started dating, and I think it's between our second and third Cocoa Christmas counts that we decided to take a bird trip down to, I think it was the Everglades, to chase a vermilion flycatcher, which I needed for my life list. And we're driving through the Everglades, and David says, out of the blue, something like, well, after we get married, we'll do this, this, and this. I don't remember exactly what it was he said we'd do after we got married. But I was like, after we do what now? And he's like, well, after we get married, you know, and I'm like, wait. You're just assuming I'm gonna marry you? You have to officially ask. So I made him officially propose to me. So what was your favorite Christmas count that we've done together so far? We've done, I think this is our 18th for the Cocoa count, and probably about our 40th with all the counts we do together.
Probably the first count we did together when Ned gave you up to me.
Oh,
since you were on his.
That's right, I was on his
group, yeah. So he switched us off. So.
Oh, see, I'm not that romantic. My favorite one was when we were out on the South Brevard count that time, and there was like 1 million swallows, and they were all circling around us.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We were out on the South Brevard count. That was.
Yeah, the Karatzi side. Yeah, they were coming to get the myrtle berries.
Yeah. There was 1 million of them, and they were like swirling all around us, and we were like we were the center of their universe for a while.
That's one of my favorite things to do, is stand amongst the swallows like that.
Cool.
With my baby.
Aww. So here we are at our last stop of our 18th, it's the 18th or 17th Christmas count together. I think it's 17th.
It's 17.
Yeah, 17th, I think.
Like that.
Anyway, it's our last stop of the day, so we were telling a story about how we got married. So we got engaged, and then how did you figure out where we wanted to hold the wedding?
Well, I was working at St. Sebastian River Preserve at the time, and we had a hurricane the fall before we were married, and there was this one tree out there, this big laurel oak tree, just all the birds were flocking to that. So I decided to call it the Tree of Life, and we would go that next spring when it's nice and dry, and we're in the dry season. On May 7th when we got married, and we're going to have the ceremony out there, everybody gather around the tree, and then it rained that whole week before, one tremendous rain event, and flooded the whole section out. So I had to move somewhere else. But as we were setting up in the new place, we saw a Cara out feeding out there in the pasture, so we figured it must be a good omen. It's a good place for us to get married.
So you remember the bird? You remember what I was wearing?
You had a dress.
Oh well, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.